concept of core curriculum and expanded core curriculum. Concept of core curriculum. The core curriculum becomes the foundation for almost all learning. Educators define core curriculum as the knowledge and skills expected to be learned by the student by high school graduation. It consists of knowledge and skills related to the academic subjects and are essential for academic success in school and later in life. We shall see the concepts of core curriculum. The core curriculum tries to provide a common background to all students of a particular course of study. The intention of this concept is to make the component of curriculum more meaningful to all the students. The core component has two basic components as said by Oliver 1965. They are time and philosophy. Now time is usually administered through a block time concept. For example, two or more concepts are joined together in order to study a wide range of related topics. The philosophy of core involves the breaking down the strict boundaries between two different concepts. Manning and Oliver have mentioned that students may study a topic from literacy, historical, mathematical, educational, sociological, psychological and artistic viewpoints concurrently rather than study them in an isolated manner. There are three aspects of rationale underlying core curriculum. Now, Dewey's philosophy of experimentalism. It is a basis for core curriculum. John Dewey viewed learning as continuous reconstruction of experiences and problem solving as an important part of learning. Cultural facts also contributed to the nature of core proposals. The cognitive theories of learning paid increased attention to learning as a dynamic and organic process. Thus, the cognitive theories of learning influence the development of core curriculum. Generally, the core curriculum consists of knowledge and skills related to the academic subjects. Mastery of the core curriculum is what both parents and teachers stress as essential for academic success in school and later in life. In most states, opportunities are provided for students to meet other criteria in cases when those students cannot meet the academic demands of the core curriculum. There are many versions of the core curriculum. In our country, each state assumes responsibility for minimum standards and for high school graduation. This core curriculum becomes a foundation for almost all learning from kindergarten through high school. With respect to blind and visually impaired students, the existing core curriculum as developed for sighted students is entirely appropriate and generally available because educators of visually impaired students have developed expertise in curriculum adaptation, and it should be possible to take any curriculum that has been developed and make it readily available for visually impaired learners. If blindness or visual impairments presents only the problems of accessibility to learning materials, then the issue of education of visually impaired students is solved by the adaptation of the existing core curriculum. Some educators of visually impaired students believe that it is true that the child in a regular classroom who has access to all curricular materials is as equally prepared to learn as her sighted classmates. But most professionals hold a strong position that there is an expanded core curriculum for visually impaired students that require additional areas of learning. There are experiences and concepts casually and instantly learned by sighted students that must be systematically and sequentially taught to the visually impaired student. The core curriculum for visually impaired students is not the same as for sighted students. Indeed, it is much more larger and more complex. The concept of a core curriculum for visually impaired learners has been discussed by professionals and parents for many years. It has been called for many things. It has been referred to as specialized curriculum or specialized needs, the unique curriculum or the unique needs, the non-academic curriculum, the dual curriculum, and most recently the disability specific curriculum. These other terms are sometimes a distraction to the important issue. The term core curriculum has been used to define the basic educational needs of sighted students for many years. It is proposed that the term curriculum and core curriculum for the blind and visually impaired students be used to define the basic educational needs for this population. It conveys the same message as the original core curriculum. Words like specialized, unique, and disability specific are not needed and indeed may give an erroneous connotation to basic educational needs. The terms imply two separate lists of educational needs for visually impaired students. One list contains the elements of a traditional core curriculum. The other is a list of disability specific needs. Two lists provide educators with options, such as one list being required, the other consisting of electives. There should be only one list, and that should consist of the required core curriculum for visually impaired students. Now, coming to the characteristics of core curriculum. The core curriculum components have certain characteristics. These are: 1. It is problem centered. Here, the problems of learners are focused. Learning takes place through first-hand experiences. The students are also provided ample opportunities for their overall development. Students are also involved in planning and teaching learning process. Opportunities for integrating the knowledge of different concepts. The first-hand experiences are also provided to the learner. There is teacher-pupil planning. Emphasis is also laid on the total growth of the pupils. The social, physical, intellectual, emotional, and spiritual aspects of the pupils are developed in an integrated manner. The core curriculum is also flexible. The core curriculum is oriented towards guidance and counseling. Now, according to Borsing and his associates, core curriculum has the following distinctive characteristics. These are as follows. First one, learning experience and process form the backbone of core, not mastery of factual knowledge. Subject serves as a means or tool for engaging common social and perennial needs, not as an end in itself. Second one, core curriculum emphasizes problem solving by the group across fields and discipline. Textbooks and teachers do not control the agenda. Teachers guide students inside and outside the classroom. Option, working with the same pupils for few years. The core curriculum becomes the organizing scheme for the entire school experience. Non-curriculum for activities supplement core curriculum activities. The another person, Dewey and Hutchins, have given the following characteristics of core curriculum. These are: 1. The basic needs and learning experiences of students take precedence over subject matter. Second, the basic needs can be addressed in various manners. Third, the learning experiences must engage the student to move forward towards freedom held out by liberal education. Fourth one, the contents in core curriculum integrated through various disciplines, themes, content, skills, way of knowing, modes of teaching learning process, and or a combination of all these. In these words, integration in core curriculum is basically a cross-disciplinary approach. Fifth one, the content of core curriculum emphasis on problem solving and discussion. In core curriculum, teachers act as integrators, agenda settlers, modules of interpretive discoverers, partners in conversation and mentors rather than as authoritative distributors of knowledge. In core curriculum, learning is not restricted to the walls for classroom. Most of the components of core curriculum include the informal activities outside the classroom. In core curriculum, the contents can be provided to the students through original materials like film, art, music, drama or any other original source. It is not necessary to use books in curriculum translation through core curriculum. Subject matter is considered as crucial as they are applied to original sources, or core curriculum is also able to pressure or reinterpret the knowledge. The contents of core curriculum have a common benefit of the students. The core curriculum also involves a special curriculum for faculty development. Now let us look into the general characteristics. The areas of core curriculum are essential for all the students. Core curriculum is designed through equal experiences. It is believed that these experiences are essential for every segment of society and its members irrespective of the ability, social status and occasional purpose. All the activities of core curriculum is designed and prepared by the collective efforts of teacher and the students as well. Students can give this support from identifying their problems and referring the various measures of solution. It is a common belief that through such steps, the students can be well versed with every step of core curriculum. A teacher can play a crucial role as a specialist and leader of a group. Core curriculum is flexible in nature. There is a provision of including the special needs and specific needs and interest of the students. Now coming to the specific characteristics of core curriculum. In core curriculum, special emphasis is given on social values and individual activities on the basis of values and rules by which they decide what is wrong and what is right, what is desired and what is undesired. The core curriculum is designed on the basis of certain sociality, moral values which are based on culture. Core curriculum does not only include the various social needs and satisfaction of an individual, but also the various problems of the whole community, area, country or even the world. The structure of core curriculum is designed on the basis of comprehensive social problems. Core curriculum is basically a correction or implication of basic elements which is common for all. Now, what are the common core elements? The 1988 National Curriculum Framework NCF recommended compulsory core curriculum elements to be taught throughout the country. Most of these core curriculums are aimed at the development of national identity and a spirit of togetherness leading to national unity. The common core curriculums recommended in the NCF are the history of India's freedom struggle, constitutional obligations, content essential for the development of national identity, common cultural heritage of India, democracy, secularism, socialism, gender equity, emotional conservation, removal of social barriers, small family norms and development of a scientific approach. Now the scheme of studies. 1988 NCF has recommended the areas shown in the table along with the appropriate weightage at the primary and secondary levels. So when we look at the table of NCF, the upper primary stage has 3 languages with a time weightage of 32, Maths 12, Social Science 12, Science 12, Health and Physical Education 10, Arts Work Experience 10. At the secondary stage, there are 3 languages giving time weightage is 30, Mathematics and Social Science 13, Science and Work Experience 13, health and physical education 9, arts 9. Now, coming to the expanded core curriculum. Children who are blind or visually impaired need to study the same basic academic subjects that sighted child know and do, from how to tell time and how to write an essay. But in order to master these subjects, often known as core curriculum, and complete their schoolwork as well as eventually live and work independently, children who are visually impaired usually need to learn an additional set of skills known as the expanded core curriculum. They are sometimes also referred to as disability specific skills or vision related skills because they are useful especially for individuals who are visually impaired. The term expanded core curriculum is used to define concepts and skills that often require specialized instruction with students who are blind or visually impaired in order to compensate for decreased opportunities to learn incidentally by observing others. In addition to the general curriculum, core curriculum that all the students are taught, students with visual impairments starting at birth also need instruction in the expanded core curriculum. The expanded core curriculum areas include 1. The needs that result from the visual impairment that enable students to be involved in and make progress in the general education curriculum. 2. Other educational needs that result from the child's disability. Evaluation in all the areas of ECC is required for students with visual impairment. Priority needs must be identified by the IEP team and instruction to be provided in these areas. Now, let us look at the areas of expanded core curriculum. The foremost is assistive technology. It is an umbrella form that includes assistive and adaptive tools as well as instructional services that can enhance communication, access and living. It includes electronic equipment such as switches, mobile devices and portable note takers, computer access such as magnification, software, screen readers and keyboarding, and low-tech devices such as abacus, a brailler, active learning materials and optical devices. Now, career education. Career education provides students with visually impaired for all ages the opportunity to learn through hands-on experiences about jobs that they may not otherwise be aware of without the ability to observe people working. They also bear work-related skills such as assuming responsibility, punctuality, and staying on task. Career education provides opportunities for students to explore and discover strength and interest and plan for transition to adult life. Now, third one is compensatory skills. It includes skills necessary for accessing the core curriculum, including concept development, communication modes, organization and study skills, access to permit materials, and the use of braille, ornament, tactile graphics, object or tactile symbols, sign language and audio materials. Coming to the independent living skills, which includes the tasks and function people perform in daily life to increase their independence and contribute to the family structure. These skills include personal hygiene, eating skills, food preparation, time and money management, clothing care, and household tasks. People with vision typically learn such daily routines through observation, whereas individuals with visually impaired often need systematic instruction and frequent practice in these daily tasks. The most important is orientation and mobility skills for visually impaired. Orientation and mobility instruction enables students of all ages and motor abilities to be oriented to their surroundings and to move as independently and safely as possible. Students learn about themselves and their environments, including home, school, and community. Orientation and mobility lessons incorporate skills ranging from basic body image, spatial relationships, and purposeful movement to usage, travel in the community, and use of public transportation. Orientation and mobility skills enable students to acquire independence to the greatest extent possible based on their individual needs and abilities. Then recreation and leisure. Being unable to observe others, it reduces awareness of recreation and leisure options. Instruction in recreation and leisure skills will ensure that students with visually impaired offers have fewer opportunities to develop and practice the specific skills that lead to self-determination. Students who know and value who they are and who have self-determination skills become effective advocates for themselves and therefore have more control over their lives. Sensory efficacy. It includes instruction in the use of vision, hearing, touch, smell and taste. It also addresses the development of the kinesthetic and vestibular system. Learning to use their senses efficiently, including the use of optical devices, it enables students with visually impaired to access and participate in activities in school, work and community environment. When you wanted to talk about social interaction skills, it includes area like awareness of body language, gesture, facial expressions and personal space. Instruction also includes learning about interpersonal relationship, self-quoted and human sexuality. Almost all social skills are learned by observing other people. Instruction in social interaction skills in school, work and recreational settings is crucial. Having appropriate social skills can often near the difference between social isolation and a fulfilling life as an adult. When we talk about self-determination, it includes decision making, self-advocacy and individual responsibility. These skills lead to competence for all students at all ages and abilities. However, the scope of competence with expanded core curriculum and the need for instruction in the home, school, community will require increased participation and creativity, solid supervisory or administrative support, ensuring that there is an evidence of IED goals based in expanded core curriculum evaluation and evidence of expanded core curriculum construction during staff observation, including the performance evaluation. So, we have listened to the core curriculum and expanded core curriculum and the role of the personnel in implementation of the evaluation of the expanded core curriculum. To conclude, we have listened to the core curriculum, its components, meaning and need, and the expanded core curriculum for visually impaired children. Thank you.